I'll just give it a few minutes for our attendees to join us. Welcome, everybody. We're just getting started. I'm just going to give a couple extra minutes for attendees to log in and make sure that we'll have as many people here as wanted to be here. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get started. Hello and welcome to the kickoff of ProParent Campus. We are so excited for you all to hear about our impactful work, and we have a great speaker to talk to you later on. First, I'd like to tell you a little about our nonprofit and introduce our board members. My name is Catherine Baird, and I am the president and founder of ProParent Campus. I got the idea to start this nonprofit when I was going back to law school after a 3-year break. I started law school right after I married my wonderful husband, and in my second year, I found out I was pregnant with our son. I wanted to keep going to school, but I got so sick that I started to miss a lot of class. I didn't know anything about accommodations or academic adjustments at the time, and my school didn't have any policies for pregnant students like me. I was afraid that I'd get kicked out if I missed too much class, so I voluntarily withdrew, hoping to be reinstated at the same place when I was able to return. Fast forward 2.5 years later, and I started thinking about going back to school. I got involved with a program of Students for Life called Standing With You, which focused on creating resources for parenting students on campus. As I was looking into these resources, I discovered the Pregnant Scholar, and I learned so much about Title IX rights, student accommodations, and how things could be different at my university. Thanks to the great mentorship I received from all of the people speaking to you today, I was able to start ProParent Campus to help pregnant and parenting students across the nation. The mission of ProParent Campus is to help colleges and universities recognize and support their pregnant and parenting students. That's kind of a lot to say, so I'm going to break it down. First, we help all educational institutions, but our main focus is on religious colleges and universities. We found that the best way to help pregnant and parenting students is to make sure that their school has policies in place that let these students know that they are supported. Religious schools have a unique opportunity to adopt and implement supportive policies to expand their reach to this group of students. Second, we help educational institutions recognize this group of students. With incentivized, student-led surveys, we can get an approximate number of parenting students on campus. This is important because not many universities are aware of their student-parent population, and it's hard to have supportive policies and practices for a group of students that you don't know about. That's why we help collect data to increase recognition of these students and advocate for supportive policies for them. Finally, we help universities support this group of students by linking them with supportive resources in the community, such as pregnancy health centers, food banks, diaper banks, and other charitable organizations like churches that can provide necessities to this group of students. We are so excited to share more about this important work with you. I'd like to start off by introducing our board members, Jessica Lee and Megan Barnett. Megan, please go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Megan. So I'm the current secretary of ProParent Campus. I've worked with a couple other organizations that have similar goals and interests as us, and I have a passion for helping student parents as well. I graduated from St. Mary's University, where I got my bachelor's in computer science, And there was the president of a student organization, Rattlers for Life, which is dedicated to helping moms on campus through different kind of diaper drives, and then also sharing educational resources. And then as well, through both of my sisters, I've witnessed the struggles of being a mother on campus, and then the various difficulties that comes with, and that's both on public and private universities, which is why I want to see change on these colleges, so that parents are able to receive their education as well as care for their child.
Thanks, Megan. So Jessica is feeling a little under the weather today, so I'm going to go ahead and read her biography for her. Jessica Lee is a senior staff attorney at the Center for Work-Life Law and director of the center's Pregnant Scholar Initiative, the nationwide legal resource center for pregnant and parenting students. Jessica's research and advocacy advances gender and racial equity in the workplace and in education, and she is a nationally recognized expert on the laws at the intersection of employment, education, and maternal and infant health. Jessica provides a wide scope of partner organizations with Know Your Rights training and strategic tools. Model legislation, co-drafted by Jessica, has been introduced in Congress and at the state level. She regularly advises state and local enforcement agencies, and Jessica has guided dozens of educational institutions through drafting and implementing family-responsive policies. She also provides Know Your Rights resources and trainings to educate parents and changemakers on the legal rights of caregivers in the workplace and in education, translating complicated legal issues into approachable and useful tools for thousands of non-lawyers. So I'm so excited to have these board members helping me with the nonprofit. Without further ado, I'd like to go ahead and introduce our speaker, Samuel Green. Samuel Green serves as president and general counsel at Reason for Life, a nonprofit ministry working to end abortion in America. Samuel shares about the biblical and scientific case for cherishing and defending children in the womb by delivering sermons at churches, presenting chapel messages at Christian colleges, and providing pro-life education in other capacities. Samuel has provided legislative testimony, preached sermons about the sanctity of life, and given presentations across the country to various groups or their chapters, including Students for Life of America, 40 Days for Life, Summit Ministries, Teen Pact Leadership Schools, the Federalist Society, and the St. Thomas More Society. Samuel has also participated in media interviews and published articles with various outlets, including Newsweek, the Seattle Times, The Hill, Washington Examiner, The Federalist, and the Daily Signal. Thank you so much, Samuel, for being with us today.
Well, thank you so much for having me, and thank you for that kind introduction. It is truly an honor to be with all of you virtually today for this historic moment. I've had the privilege of being in contact with Catherine as she has turned Pro-Parent Campus from just a dream into a nonprofit charity that is striving to make a positive impact across the nation. It's exciting to know that years from this official kickoff, we may look back with amazement as we reflect on the wonderful fruit that blossomed from Pro-Parent Campus's labors. Their efforts can bless colleges to help them bless parents, which will in turn bless children. And that can result in stronger families who promote healthier communities and a more flourishing society. Now that may all sound rather lofty, so let me get a bit more concrete. Now, there are some colleges that proclaim to the world that God is at the center of their mission, that the Bible is their source of truth. And if those are serious proclamations, it means that those colleges believe certain things. One thing that they believe is that children are a blessing. As it says in Psalm 127, "Behold, children are a heritage from the Lord. The fruit of the womb is a reward." Like arrows in the hand of a warrior, so are the children of one's youth. Happy is the man who has his quiver full of them. These colleges also believe that parents are to be involved in their children's lives, that they are to train up their children in the way they should go. As Deuteronomy 6 puts it, when it comes to the commandments of the Lord, quote, "You shall teach them diligently to your children, and shall talk of them when you sit in your house, when you walk by the way, when you lie down, and when you rise up." Another principle that these colleges adhere to is that parents are to care for their children. In 1 Timothy 5, we read these rather strong words. Anyone who does not provide for their relatives, and especially for their own household, has denied the faith and is worse than an unbeliever. And Proverbs 31, in that famous passage, tells us of the virtuous woman who makes investments and provides her family with food, clothing, and wisdom. The colleges believe these things. They may teach these things, and they may market themselves to the public as the best place for those who desire to be good, godly parents and to be well positioned to provide for their families. But then there can be an unfortunate disconnect between the belief and the reality on campus. Imagine with me a young man, Timothy, and a young woman, Lydia, who both leave their families and their hometowns to go to a Christian college to study nursing and become medical missionaries. They meet each other and fall in love as freshmen at the college. They marry the summer following their sophomore year, and during their junior year, they are delighted to learn that God has blessed them with a baby boy, which they named John. But then morning sickness strikes, and it strikes hard. What is the college's response when Lydia asks if she can get recordings of the lectures she is unable to attend? If Lydia manages to get the accommodations that she needs to continue through her junior year while pregnant, what does her senior year look like? If baby John gets sick and spends a week in the hospital, and Lydia and Timothy need to take turns missing class so one of them can keep their child calm and make medical decisions for him, will their grades be harmed due to the professor's class participation policy? Well, that's where Pro-Parent Campus comes in, to be a resource to help religious colleges ensure that their policies and actions are communicating to people like Lydia and Timothy that children are indeed a blessing from the Lord. The students who want to provide for their families and raise them in the ways of the Lord can pursue their education at a Bible-believing institution, that they do not need to turn to a secular state school to get the accommodations they so desperately need to succeed in college while pregnant and parenting. So I'm excited that Pro-Parent Campus is now here to help colleges teach biblical beliefs about the value of children and family through the way that they treat their pregnant and parenting students on campus. By serving as a resource to those religious colleges and providing them with tools to show greater love to those who are being fruitful and multiplying, Pro-Parent Campus is poised to make a positive, lasting impact on the lives of many. But they can't do it alone, so I am grateful to each one of you for participating in this endeavor, and I am looking forward to seeing the wonderful ways that the Lord uses Pro-Parent Campus to touch the lives of many. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Samuel, for that wonderful talk. I really did enjoy it. So I want to go ahead and announce to our attendees, if you would like to submit questions to either Samuel or the rest of our panelists, feel free to use the Q&A box down at the bottom of your screen. If we get a question in, we'll go ahead and answer it live. We have just a few minutes for questions, but if there are no questions, we'll go ahead and end things early and let you guys go on with your lunch. One thing that I wanted to mention really quickly is that we have a pledge on our website. If you go to www.proparentcampus.com, and click on the pledge tab, you'll see that we have a pledge that basically we're asking our pro-parent campuses to take. So if there is a university that we know does not have supportive policies for pregnant and parenting students, we're asking them to sign the pledge, and they will then get labeled pro-parent campus. So that is one step that they can take to show their students that they have policies that are helpful to pregnant and parenting students. Of course, we're not going to end there. We're going to advocate for additional policies to help parenting students not just stop at the pledge, but get actual policies in place. And we also want to connect them with resources that are very essential for parenting students who maybe just need a little extra support while they're going to college. So feel free to look at our website and check out the pledge. And if you'd like to sign up for our newsletter, it's also on the website there. I haven't seen any questions come in, so thank you all again for coming to our kickoff event. We're very excited to start off Pro-Parent Campus, and I hope everybody has a great day. Thank you. Bye-bye.